And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. Before we get rolling, let's check in with Steve Malzberg and see what Steve has planned for us tonight.
Rick, Governor Mike Huckabee will join me for a two-part interview. He discusses Hillary, he discusses Planned Parenthood, he discusses Iowa, and much, much more. Also, the former Attorney General of the United States, Mike Mukasey, will be here. He says Hillary's defense is really no defense, and she could be in big trouble. Also, Trump. Jeb Bush has higher negatives than Donald Trump. It's all going to be talked about right after your show, The Daily Wrap, 7 p.m. Eastern, coming up next.
Sounds like a good one, Steve. Be sure to stay tuned for Steve's show. It sounds like it's going to be a hot one tonight. The latest CNN ORC poll conducted after the Fox debate shows once again that Donald Trump continues to top the GOP polls. According to the survey, Mr. Trump has the support of 24% of Republican voters, while Governor Jeb Bush holds second place among the GOP candidates with 13%. That's a full 11 points behind Mr. Trump. Ben Carson places third in the poll with 9% of the vote, while Senator Marco Rubio and Governor Scott Walker are currently tied at 8%. Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Carly Fiorina, Governor John Kasich, and Governor Mike Huckabee round out the bottom 10%. But you know, it's in the crosstabs of the CNN ORC survey where some of the more interesting and revealing data can be found. For example, it would appear that Megyn Kelly's effort to call attention to Mr. Trump's history of Twitter offenses when referring to women did no real harm to the candidate whatsoever. We see that 60% of Republican female voters say that they hold a positive impression of Trump. That's slightly more than the 57% of GOP men who view the candidate positively. Joe, are you a little surprised that women Republicans are actually polling higher for Donald Trump than men?
You know what women like, I think, anyway? I'm going back years to my single days when I used to watch Rachel in the Real World, season 3 in San Francisco.
You know, his whole life seems to come back to this show you were on.
Only one topic tonight.
It's true.
It's you.
Anyway, they like candor and they like humor, and certainly Trump has both. So maybe they say, you know what, I'm not getting a guy who's BSing me, that's telling me what I want to hear. He's speaking from the heart, and obviously everything we've spoken about before, unapologetic. That poll is very interesting because of who's not on it. Chris Christie dropped out of the top 10.
Yes, he did.
And the free fall by Scott Walker is just remarkable to me, that he used to be leading Iowa by double digits, and now he's down to single digits nationally, and you barely hear from the guy. I know he made some news today, but that's only because he's mimicking Trump as far as building a wall around Mexico. So just as interesting as Trump still being on top are the people that are falling out and the people that are rising, like Carly Fiorina.
Well, Rachel, as luck would have it, you happen to be a woman.
I happen to be a woman.
So I gotta ask you this. Now, you know, we're aware of these things that he wrote on Twitter. I'm not even going to repeat them because I find them offensive.
Yeah.
But yet I wonder if Joe's onto something there. Are all these women who are supporting Trump taking it more as a joke, as humor, than being offended by it?
You know, one of the things that Donald Trump said in the debate was, I don't have time to be PC, and America doesn't have time to be PC. And I think that kind of honesty and decisiveness is attractive. On the other hand, you know, he couldn't even apologize when he insulted a national hero, a war veteran. This is somebody who doesn't have the humility to apologize. This is why he's had 4 wives. So I, as a woman, not something I'm attracted to.
So now we're going to head out to the streets of New York City, where our own Nora DeBroder is talking to the folks about, you know who, Donald Trump.
Hi, I'm Nora DeBroder for Newsmax TV. Donald Trump continues to surge ahead of his Republican competitors for the GOP nomination. So it begs the question, what does Trump bring to the table that the others do not? So we're going to ask the people of New York City why they think Trump would be the best choice.
The genuine, caring personality to set this country in the right path. You know what I mean? So, you know, you want to move forward. Where any ideas, and Donald Trump is the man to accomplish that.
I think because of his success in the financial world, he might be able to help this country out with the economy.
I'm a businessman, and from a business aspect, I think that he would be the type to be able to come and make a change. I think it changed our economy.
He's not in favor of the Iran deal, and I can understand why. We have to give them $300 billion up front. So he's with the issues, and I think he's very strong.
He's a salesperson. Real estate. That's number one. He knows how to market, he knows how to talk, he knows how to say what people want to hear. That's number one. Number two, he's spending his own money. He's not asking the public for it.
People are sick and tired of listening to the politicians who are always talking about this and that, but they never do anything. They don't produce anything. The one thing Donald Trump has produced is probably, maybe not the most, but one of the most amount of jobs in New York City than anybody has ever produced before in private industry.
The best reason why he would be a good president is because he has what I'll call chutzpah. He says it like it is, and he's not afraid of being politically correct. So I think that will work in our favor right now because we've been overly political correct in this country, and it's caused us to slide, I think, in ways that we shouldn't, morally and financially and other ways. So I think that'd be a good asset.
Well, I just think that, you know, he's all for independence. He wants every state to have make their own decisions as far as, you know, education is concerned, instead of the federal government.
Donald Trump would make a good president because he would help us eliminate the threat of ISIS.
Anything with Donald Trump, they think it's made out of gold. So even his name alone causes people to say, wow, this guy has a lot of style.
Trump seems to be resonating with the people of New York, but will he keep the momentum going? We'll find out. Back to you in the studio.
Well, he has a lot of style, apparently.
Apparently.
He has a lot of style. You know, as always, I have so many more questions that I want to ask about it, but I'm going to read what I'm supposed to read instead.
Go for it.
All right. Are you surprised by how well Donald Trump continues to do in the polls? If you are, or if you aren't, go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Let us know. Also, we want to know who your choice is for the 2016 nomination. You can let us know that at newsmaxpolls.com. Coming up next, Hillary Clinton.